Please welcome Magnus, who is the co-founder of Things.
Thanks, Sune. Good to see all of you. I'm so happy to be here again. This is actually my favorite days at Things, and I spend a lot of days here, so this means a lot. Very few projects that are initiated actually comes out far beyond imagination, and SthlmHW is actually one of those, primarily thanks to Sune and the guys. Anyway, this is important. We have so many new people, I learned every time, so I will tell you also the background of Things, so you know where we actually are. So I spent a lot of years in IoT, and trying to build an industry out of IoT in Sweden. And you know the T in IoT means things. I mean, most people forget that. We would like to, we want to do, big data, we want to do this and that, but without things, nothing really happens. And things, since I was an investor in the past, I know people don't want to invest in things. It's very difficult to do business on things. And things meaning hardware, actually meaning everything that relates to nature, the real world. It's quite easy to scale a business across the globe if you deal with kind of funny money or music or something that's not really the real world. But as soon as you get into the physical world, it becomes really complicated. Certifications, what you have in stores, shipping, blah, 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 culture, colors. It's very difficult. So the idea was to in order to boost the whole kind of position of Sweden as a good IoT country, we should actually focus much more on things, on the real world, on hardware, and on industry. Because in Sweden, we live out of industry. So we always forgot that, but actually everything we built here is coming from forests, mining, and water. Engineers turn that into products. We learned how to sell that abroad. We are gifted with no people, so we just had to go abroad. So that's the short story of why we're here and why it works the way it works. So we founded this, and we said, so how do you do it? Well, we need a house, because if you work with the real world, you need somewhere to meet. So, it's the physical world. So we said, we're going to have a house. And we found this place. Akademiska Hus offered us to rent it for 3 years. Quite okay. And we hired Linda, our CEO. I don't know if she's still here. She runs the place. And we turned it around to become what it is in about 5 months. And we started to say, so how do we fill up the house with something? Well, like when you throw a good party, if you invite the coolest people on earth, all the others will be there as well. So the whole idea is to build an atmosphere here that's really, really cool and that people like and so forth. So we started to handpick really a couple of really, really cool companies. I think the first one we went to was Volumental. We said, they are the stars at the moment. Let's bring them here. So the first company who moved in here was Volumental. And then it became very easy, actually, to fill up the rest of the slots. There's about 150 kind of seats at Things. So 150 people kind of works here. Today, we have 53 member companies. We have about 90 altogether with those who left already. So it's a good kind of flow of companies going and back and forth. We don't invest anything in companies. So we don't care if they go bust or not, because we only bring the good people here. So we know if they fail, they will come back in another company very soon, which has happened many times already. Now the other big thing is that we also try to bring in the industry here in order to really solve the core of the problems with hardware, which is that if you are small with hardware, you will probably never be big because it takes too long to scale out. So you have to find a way to get to kind of massive volumes or massive impact by working with somebody who have all those muscles, which means the big companies. If you're a big company, you have no clue to even control your own domain any longer. All the innovation comes from small companies, so they have to learn how to work with people like us here. So therefore, we have recruited in different ways a lot of large corporates here as well. We have all about 40 now. We have different types of memberships and partnerships, but there's about 40 of the largest companies in Sweden, and some international are also active here now. And we spend all our time to try to figure out how to learn how this transformation should be done. So having said all of that, we've been here for 3 years. We have prolonged the rent of the house. We're going to continue. We've just laid out the new kind of things we're going to do for this year and onwards. And in essence, that means that first of all, we have focused more on the corporates, and we've listened to what they want. And one of the things we now do is to allow them to sit here like startups with their own projects, which is going to be very interesting. I'm waiting for the first one to sign up for that. I think that's a fantastic experiment. I think that's going to be great. Some of the large companies told me that, we know exactly what to develop. We have the right guys. We have the funding ready. Everything is there, and then we kill them by putting them at home, among the others. So I think that is absolutely great. We also taken away a couple of the focus areas where we're focusing on. Before it was IoT, wearables, automation, sensors, 3D scanning, printings, and robotics. Now we actually have taken away a couple of those, and now we have brought sustainability to the. So we're now bringing all the forest kind of industries here. We have 5 or 6 of them here already. We're bringing all the big electricity companies and power companies here as well. So that's kind of what we do. The next big thing here is the 3-year event, where we have the anniversary party, 300 people in the room. I hope you're invited. And on our new website, you will see also all the open events that we throw. So it's a lot of open events like this one and others that you can follow on our web. With that, fine. Thanks a lot. Have a good evening. Ciao.